Are seed oils bad or good for us?
So yeah, seed oils are super misunderstood right now.
Okay.
I think they're quite villainized as like this reason for our health issues. The thing about them is they don't have really a lot of redeeming qualities in terms of like nutrients within them outside of their fatty acid profile, but they're just a polyunsaturated fatty acid. There is not good data that they're harmful to our health.
Really?
And in fact, the research actually shows that they're potentially beneficial when replacing saturated fats with polyunsaturated fats, particularly with people who are at risk of cardiometabolic disease.
Okay, so here I am abroad in Austria for work, and I get sent this video dozens of times. And of course, the typical Muppets are in the comments like the Food Babe, Paul Saladino, and so on. Times school. Now, what she's saying is spot on, and I would even say that she's being overly cautious in her phrasing. Seed oils aren't just potentially beneficial when replacing saturated fats. I'd say they outright are beneficial because the controlled human evidence is so consistent. There are plenty of recent independently conducted randomized control trials showing seed oils are healthy for you, especially when replacing saturated fats. For example, like this one, which found that the seed oil group improved liver fat, blood lipids, inflammatory markers, and metabolic status compared to the butter group. Or this one, which showed that diets rich in saturated fat increased the inflammatory marker C-reactive protein, whereas the seed oil group decreased it by 25%. But we also have controlled trials like this one, where the sunflower oil group reduced several inflammatory markers compared to the butter group when all else was kept the same. And do you know who it was funded by? The Dutch Dairy Association, and they still found seed oils to be healthier than butter. And the list goes on and on, with literally dozens of similar randomized control trials all showing the same improvements. And no, none of these studies were funded by Big Seed. In fact, I'll challenge anyone to cite me just 3 randomized control trials from the last 20 years that show that saturated fats are superior to seed oils for glycemic markers, blood lipids, inflammatory markers, or cardiometabolic risk factors. Then people like Paul Quacadino want to chime in with studies and references from over 50 years ago using the same old rhetoric, like the Minnesota coronary experiment, Sydney Diet Hard, and Rose Corn Oil. Just excellent, Paul. Carry on citing studies that are underpowered, find no significant increase in disease risk, where 75% of the participants were discharged from inpatient care within the first year of the study. Not to mention the use of lightly hydrogenated corn oil margarine, also known as trans fats. And when these studies are re-examined and you look at those who stayed in the study for more than 1 year, they find no differences in heart disease events. Super reliable, cherry-picked studies there. And people like the Food Babe saying, if you want the truth, you know who to call. I genuinely want to vomit. So I'm letting all of you influencers know, if you want to come at Dr. Jessica, you have to go through me first. Class is missed.